And now let's talk about money. And to do so, we have Nick Osterfeld, the Assistant VP of PNC Bank. Nick, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's National Credit Week, so let's start there. What do we really need to know as far as our credit's concerned?
Well, there's a number of things, Dan, that is important to know when you're dealing with credit. One is you really want to take good care of your credit. That's important. It'll help you achieve many of your goals in life. And when your credit's not where it needs to be, in a lot of cases you aren't able to get those things that you may want or desire. But I think what else is important is that the public understands that the banks look at other things outside of credit as well. We look at, one, does it make sense for the customer to borrow that type of vehicle or mortgage or unsecured line of credit or credit card. The other things that we look at is the customer's ability to pay us back. So we take a look in their credit bureau, calculate some debt, and we look at their income, and we come up with some ratios there. We really want to keep customers as low as possible with their debt to income. That's very important because we want to make sure that they can pay us back. And then we take a real close look at their capability of paying us back. So we're going to pay close attention to their annual income and their ability to make those payments over time.
And you have several options inside that. You know, since the banking crisis, not telling you anything you don't already know, that the government has made it really tight as far as the lending restrictions. Is that beginning to loosen up at all?
We are starting to see it loosen up a little bit. The regulations, albeit were warranted, it did slow down some of the public and being able to get credit. But we are starting to see that loosen up. We are starting to look at a number of different ways to get credit to customers that may have struggled over a period of time. There are options like credit building loans, secured credit cards, things like that will help customers then build that credit back, but ultimately get them back in a financial position.
People that I talk with, business leaders, are saying it's so tight to get money. So you're saying that the purse strings are loosening up then a little bit?
I would say a little bit. I wouldn't say as aggressive as it has been in years past, but definitely we are trying to look at every option. We know that lending is a major piece to a customer's financial situation, and that we need to make sure that we lend to the right customers when it's available.
Do you think those restrictions have somewhat slowed our growth in our economy because it's just so tight?
Boy, that's a great question. I don't know the answer exactly to that. I'm not an economist, but I would have to say it contributed a little bit. Absolutely.
So you're thinking now is a good time, you want to jump in, get a mortgage then?
Now is a great time. If you have the ability to have some money to put down, or you do have the credit worthiness to do that, it's a wonderful time to get out there. The home values, the building, commercial building values are down, so you can really get a nice purchase at a lesser cost than maybe years past.
Let's say you're coming out of foreclosure.
Okay.
What do we do?
Boy, that's a great question. I first would advise the individual customers to seek out a financial advisor and talk specifically about their individual case. There's a number of reasons why foreclosures happen, and I think it's important that each person deals with it on an individual case. I don't know that there's a blanket way to help every customer in those situations.
All right, so as you mentioned earlier, the best thing to do is to keep an eye on your credit score.
Absolutely.
Keep yourself as squeaky clean as you can, right?
Absolutely. When we're dealing with credit bureau agencies, we're dealing with three major ones for the most part. We're dealing with Equifax, TransUnion, and we also have Experian out there. Each financial institution typically pulls from one or three of those to make sure, and they're really looking for payment history. They're looking for how they utilize that credit. Are they overusing revolving credit such as credit cards and lines of credit? Do they have the right mix? How long has that credit been out there? So there are a number of different categories that a bank's going to be looking for to make sure that that person has good characteristics of somebody who we would want to lend to.
And have a professional give you good advice.
Absolutely. That's very important.
All right. Annualcreditreport.com, probably the best place to go to check your credit?
Absolutely. You get a free credit bureau every year. You can pull them from all three agencies if you choose to, and that way you can get a good look. It also helps out with making sure that there's nothing on your credit bureau that shouldn't be there. Unfortunately, identity theft is running rampant through our country, and you want to make sure that what is being reported is truly yours.
All right. National Credit Week, so let's improve yours if need be. And Nick, thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely.